And we are live. Continuing a theme from the last episode, I've mentioned a little something about how God hates us all. And God still continues to hate at least Stormtoker because on our last show, our fucking bus, specifically the alternator, decided to run out on us while we were on the highway. And we had to make an emergency stop on the way to a show to make sure that we could get to the damn thing.
Yeah, that's always the funnest fucking shit in the world. But, you know, just the silver lining, it was better to be this weekend than this coming weekend.
Yes, because this coming weekend we are going on a little tour with our friends from Athens, Georgia, a band by the name of Guillotine AD.
Not Atlanta.
Not Atlanta, like I think David talked
Nah, there's only one city in Georgia, apparently.
Oh, it's like Atlanta's the one that matters, unless you're a Bulldogs fan. Then I guess then it's Athens, Georgia for you.
Fuck, I'm trying to think of a third one. Hold on. I thought of it first. I thought of the question first. God damn, really?
You can't think of a third one? I can think of at least two, I think.
Jesus.
We're not getting any fans of Georgia,
yeah,
are we?
I was going to say Atlanta, Athens. Yeah, I'm fucking lost.
Augusta?
Oh, yeah. All the A ones.
Yeah, but I feel like there's I drove through Georgia once.
Let's see, I've never done such a thing, so.
And honestly, I thought I had a fourth one. I think that I'm tapped out on the third one, too. Yeah, anyway. So
I can name more fucking like Alabama, I think.
Sorry if anybody in Georgia's listening to this.
Go Bulldogs! Go Dogs!
Go Bulldogs, our SEC rivals for the University of Kentucky.
We don't. I used to give a fuck.
But yeah, like the big shout out, we had to pull over and stop at an O'Reilly's on our way to our show in Somerset, Kentucky. We played this past Saturday. We were playing alongside some other Kentucky bands, Buzzhound, Crop, and Vibrolas. And specifically Vibrolas. Chris from Vibrolas came in.
And my tattoo artist, Nate Quarter, for putting all that together.
Yes. David's tattoo artist, Nathan Quarter.
Nate Quarter.
Nate Quarter. Helped facilitate Vibrola's taking her sweet 70s van and
everything was awesome.
helping us load our gear from our bus into their van in order to bring it to the Jarfly Brewing company venue where the show was at.
Turns out we got a badass mechanic in the band that had it up and running before we needed to, so we could have technically stayed, but we didn't know what the fuck was going on, but one of those things that pays to have a scene that takes care of you and a scene that you take care of back. So, yeah, no, I'm forever grateful for old Vibrolas lending their vehicle for our bucket of gear trash that we fucking dumped on them.
Yeah, like I was like, all right, we can totally fit all our gear. We managed to jank all that stuff in there.
We had to, like, squeeze you in and shut the door.
Yeah,
it was rough.
We had to crush our newest member Travis in between both me and David's big old fat asses.
Say the rhythm sandwich.
Yeah, the rhythm sandwich. Travis was the.
I guess Travis was the sandwich.
He was the meat in the middle.
That is always the fucking fucked up thing with like language and shit. Everybody always talks about like the sandwich, but they always reference like the bread instead of like what would actually be in the sandwich that would constitute naming a sandwich.
Yes.
But it's always like, oh, you were in a really said the rhythm section sandwich. It's like, no, it was a Travis sandwich.
It was a rhythm bun.
It was a rhythm. I was gonna say it was some rhythm rye.
Some rhythm
rye.
But yeah, we managed to make it to the show, and the show itself went real good. It was a real fun time. Thankfully, we did that test run with the bus, so now that we will hopefully, knock on wood, be able to make our way through the Carolinas this upcoming Thursday.
And then we return to Metal Monday.
Returning to Metal Monday.
It's always a fun one.
Monday, March 27th, to play Highlands Tap Room up there.
And then these dudes get to try to find me somewhere on a beach, probably.
Yes,
I'm going to disappear. I'm just going to take a morning walk and y'all ain't going to see me again. Just going to walk into the ocean.
Walk to the ocean, just disappear. Where'd David go?
I'm just going to have my Jack and Coke and a joint hanging out my mouth. Walk straight into the ocean.
Oh, man. But, Yeah, hopefully this whole run will go well. The next podcast we record will likely be on the road.
It's the plan, at least.
If all things go well, that is.
I'll say we found a good spot to do it, and we got time to kill it. Because I definitely want to do some adventuring.
Oh yeah, like basically, if we could find like some coffee shop or
there
library or somewhere.
there should be an hour to at least spare.
Yeah,
and fuck, even if we don't cover anything, we can fucking make it a special episode. We wanted to. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, I'll figure out something. We got a lot of hours to spend on the bus. I can put shit together. But yeah, like this that's the big news that we got coming up. We're going to be playing Winston-Salem, North Carolina is the first date on Thursday, which this should be up by then. Like I got time between today and the first day of the tour.
I tell you, when you're used to doing everything on Friday and Saturday, that Thursday come up quick.
Yeah,
I was like,
real fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I fucking got off work earlier. I was like, I started thinking all the shit I need to do. And I was like, son of a bitch, all I got is tomorrow. And of course, I came home, fell asleep. So,
yeah, we're recording this on a Tuesday right now. We were originally planning to record this on. Well, we thought maybe Friday, but that wasn't certain. Saturday, we had the show. Sunday, this motherfucker had to sleep, apparently.
Life happens.
And then yesterday...
I was up and at it for a long time on Sunday, and then I just fucking ended up lulling out, and then I woke up. It was like 9, 10 or something. I ate a little bit. And then, yeah, I think I texted you back at like 12:30, like, I've been a sleepy bitch.
Yeah, yesterday on the Monday... both I had to work late because my job sucks, and David had a little bit of a jam session with another musician.
I'm cheating on him.
Cheating on. So I always worried about like me or somebody else cheating on the band. Yeah, here we are.
I was never worried. Just as long as you got your priorities straight.
Yes, Storm Toker is the number one, and all other things are the mistress.
I'm gonna say if it's the project you got going. That's always been my number one rule. Is like you can do whatever the fuck you want to, just don't let it get in the way of what the fuck we're doing.
Yes, Lars Ulrich, David is not.
No, and especially not now. Like fuck, I honestly would like to maybe possibly start a third one, but that's what's you're going to the drummer territory now. Like trying to stretch out. Well, I want to do different shit. So
yeah, like hey, I want to do standalone vocals in a band, but that takes forever to find and set up and all that.
Just go to more hardcore shows.
Yeah, things I don't want to do just like a hardcore band.
But you sound so good for it.
If I would do like a groove metal band or like maybe a thrash band, but like
it's like 90% of hardcore is fucking groove based anymore.
Yeah, just I don't know.
Or at least in Kentucky right now.
I don't know. If it was just a just for fun thing, I could do a hardcore band if there was a spot freed up. But yeah, like that's what we got for right now. So I'd say it's a good time to get into the show. Greetings, hard and heavy music fans, and welcome to episode 15? Yeah, 15 of the Heavy Haystack podcast.
I won't count that one against you.
Yes.
Only slightly botched.
Only slightly botched. It took me a second because I started planning for episode 16, but I forgot if this was 15 or if the next episode is 15. But this is 15. Yeah, welcome to the Heavy Haystack Podcast, a podcast about all things heavy music for music fans like you. I am your host, Donte, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. David Andrew Langley.
Shalom, shalom.
The date is March 21st, 2023. It is a Tuesday. We are recording this on a very weird day of the week for us. Usually try to do this at least on a Friday or sometime over the weekend. That didn't happen because it was quite busy for both of us. But now we're here with another news and new release reviews episode.
Just keep telling these motherfuckers how the sausage is made.
Yeah, this is that's how it goes. This is still Down With Your Podcast. So make sure you're spreading the word of the Heavy Haystack Podcast to your friends and everyone else you know, so that maybe this thing could grow big enough to where this could be a nice financial side hustle where we could prioritize it a little bit more.
Shit.
And get started doing maybe build a Patreon and make extra content for
I'm going to be spouting my fucking non-important opinion into a microphone.
Hey, as long
for
as
no
it's
money.
entertaining. That's the important thing.
Hey, all 6 of my friends that listen to it are fucking loving it. No.
But yeah, we have a number of good topics on this episode for you, such as the Louder Than Life lineup, Avenged Sevenfold releasing their first song in 7 years.
Boo.
A little bit of a...
Boo. I don't even hate this band, but that fucking song's terrible.
A little bit of a preview on how that's going to go.
Boo.
And also Rolling Stone's super boomer list of metal's 100 greatest songs. But before all of that, we have a show sponsor. God dang.
This band better be good. I'm in a mood already.
Oh, man. All right. We have a show sponsor. This one's a little bit of a special one. It's a little bit off the beaten path from what I usually play here for show sponsors as well. This is a song by a band called Caravan Discordia.
I love those guys. No boo.
Yay, no boo. Yay. Fuck, God, you're clipping the audio like a motherfucker. And this is their song titled The Fool.
Filled with trust, arms outstretched, with bloody hands. I place their hearts in your palm. It is sweet. Throbbing
And that was Caravan Discordia with their song "The Fool." Caravan Discordia is a band we are quite good friends with. Really, like just about everybody in that band. As you can tell, that's a little bit off.
Two of them I don't really know. I don't think.
The only one I don't know is the bassist. I forgot what his name is.
There was two people in the promo photos I was trying to fucking think, and I couldn't figure it out.
Everyone else, of course, like that band is.
And nobody decided to correct me when I was tagged all of them. Like I was like, at Katie, at Cody, at Eric, at Laura, and at whoever else I'm missing because I just don't know.
Because I know that because of course like Eric, Katie, Laura, Cody, and fuck the other drummer whose name escaping me. I know his name.
See, there you go.
I know his name.
Well, we love you, no name drummer. Because I call my drummer half the time too. So
yes, but like I know his fucking name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But like
drummer,
I'm friends with him on Facebook. Like I say hi to him, and every time I see him at shows, he's one of the other 5 black people in this goddamn scene.
I can't.
He's gonna hate me. Apologies, got my guy.
He ain't gonna listen to this shit. No, I'm just kidding.
I know he. If we tag Caravan, he might.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That Caravan Discordia. That was a really good song by them.
This song is a fucking banger.
Yes, they just released their self-titled album, also called Caravan Discordia, this past Friday, actually. And we sadly had to miss the album release show for that because we had our own show in Somerset on the same night. But we heard that it went real well, and they are a really quality band.
I didn't miss nothing. I got a lot of Bron Dabney kisses.
You got a lot of that from old Bron Dabney of Crop fame.
Gooch hooks and...
But if you want to support that band directly, they have their music available for download on caravandiscordia.bandcamp.com.
Oh, I owe the band $20 now.
Oh, you do?
Well, I didn't know that I owed it $20 till Brian showed up yesterday and handed me $20 when he walked in the door, and I was like, "What's that for?" He goes, "Oh, I needed something to smoke weed out of at the show, and I just grabbed a dugout off the table."
Just stealing our gear. Okay.
So I was like, "Thanks, Brian." And but I mean, fuck it. It's like just ask next time. Goddamn, I had a bowl in my pocket the whole time.
Jesus Christ, old Bron Dabney. He's the treasure.
Oh yeah, I love Brian, but yeah. So I spent that $20 today on a shitty Xbox controller. So I need to pay back $20.
Good job. You spent money on Xbox controllers. I just dropped $300 on fucking drumsticks and cymbals for this fucking tour we're about to do.
Yeah, I'm fairly fresh on strings. I should probably clean the beer off my 5-string, but
that might be kind of important.
It's a little sticky.
Well, it's a little sticky. You like it sticky. But yeah.
I don't know why. I did eat half an edible before this started, so here we go.
Sounds like things are going to go real well on this episode then. That was Caravan Discordia. Make sure you give them a listen. So with that out of the way, let's get into the heavy music news. First up on the docket for the heavy music news of today, the festival. Of course, this is a season. It is currently March. This is a time when a lot of festivals throughout the year are being announced. A lot of the ones for summer have already been announced, but something that's really near and dear to us here in Kentucky is the biggest rock and metal festival close to us here is the Louder Than Life Festival that runs this year through September 21st and 24th. 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. It's one of the big Danny Wimmer festivals alongside other stuff like Incarceration and Rocklahoma and Sonic Temple and all those type of things. And this year, past week, they just released the lineup this year for Louder Than Life Festival. And I have to admit that this lineup this year is a little underwhelming, if I'm being honest.
I'm not a huge fan of most of these lineups, usually just because if there is anybody I want to see, it's so fucking spread out. And there's a few bands. I mean, I'm just looking at this, and it's like, dude, if like Foo Fighters, Tool, and Queens and Green Day played the same day or something. I don't know. Megadeth.
Like, there's like this festival, like, essentially when this festival first started, it was a 1 or 2 day festival.
Solo Corey Taylor. Boo. God. Never. Stop it. Get out of my state. I don't want that.
The last time that we went to the festival together, it was 2017. And that year it was only 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And the lineup was real strong because it was only 2 days they had to put all the bands on. So it wound up being a pretty nice day of like a lot of different bands that both of us wanted to see. But now with it spread out over 4 days, there's a lot.
And how ridiculous are these tickets anymore? Like, I haven't even looked at ticket prices last few years.
I know they're ridiculous. But going over like the lineup we have here, the first day on the Thursday, the main 3 headliners are Foo Fighters, Weezer, and Rancid, which is okay. That's okay for like a big first day. Like Foo Fighters, I'd like to see. Weezer, they would need some strong ass support for me to go see them, even though I do enjoy a little bit of Weezer. And Rancid, I just have an undue dislike for, probably because I don't like their music compared to their image. Because they're a fucking ska punk band, kind of, but they have a sound that sounds like they should be like fucking DRI or something. And that bugs me for some reason.
I mean, I like Weezer and Foo Fighters okay. I mean, Foo Fighters a lot more than any of them. But even then, I mean, it's like the entire rest of the day, like what, Death Heaven, Code Orange, Royal. It's like I could see if any of those shows come through Kentucky, I can go see them for $40 probably.
Yeah, like the main thing that really grinds my gears about Louder Than Life these days is
I've bitched about it, I think.
Yeah, like both of us complain about this. Essentially, like all the cool headlining shows that could potentially come through Kentucky get devoured by Louder Than Life. The one time that bands come through here, they just spend it on the festival appearance of Louder Than Life and then don't come back through. There's a number of these bands I've been wanting to see for years, but they won't come through on anything other than Louder Than Life. Bands like Body Count, Code Orange, and a number of others I've been wanting to see forever, but are not coming through except for on Louder.
I guess it would be very shitty of this podcast to not mention that the greatest band in the history of all of life for horny metalheads nowadays, Sleep Token, is on day 3.
Yeah, Sleep Token would be on this. Let's go through the other headliners.
So, when we're bitching, it's probably different than a lot of people. Because, I mean, I've seen a lot of people excited about it. I've seen a lot of people shit on it.
And I'm like, David will say that I'm more open-minded than I should be on a lot of bands.
Godsmack in particular.
But, like my opinion, I've done a 180 on Godsmack recently. Like, I'd love their classic stuff. But their two most recent albums, it makes me glad that they're not releasing albums anymore.
I don't know if I can fucking pick a day.
It's hard for me to pick one day. I'd probably do the Saturday just because Death Clock's on it. That's a big one. But the other headliners we got, like we mentioned the Thursday, the Friday you have Tool, Godsmack, and Limp Bizkit, which out of headliner days, that's one of the stronger ones. Because like Tool, I'd go see Tool at least once. I feel like I need to go see Tool at least one time. I do enjoy enough Tool to want to see them.
I'm on a low, like Tool's one of those bands, and there's bass shit, obviously. So, like, I go in and out with Tool. I'm on an album again right now. I don't know. I got, like, 1 or 2 songs I can listen to right now. I mean, there have been times I can listen to albums and I like them all right. And I don't even know a lot of, like, Tool fans that are annoying. Like the memes and shit. But,
I mean, like, my old band, like Troy and Candace, they are huge Tool fans, and they were borderline obnoxious with it.
Yeah, see, it's weird. I don't know why like Tool's in that weird category for me where I can't explicitly say that I dislike them, but they are in a weird era where I'm just like, man, I should like it more than I do just because it is so bass centric and it's cool.
It is like rhythm centric in general. I mean, Danny Carey, of course, a beast. Of course, really the whole instrumentation of the band are like some of the beast like best players around.
Oh yeah, because Adam Jones or whatever is fucking killer too.
Adam Jones is a great guitar player. Like, and despite all his douchiness, like Maynard James Keenan is a good vocalist.
And I already dropped Diarrhea on Godsmack. Limp Bizkit, I've
been wanting to see forever.
I'd totally be for the novelty of
I would be hype as fuck to go see Limp Bizkit, honestly. Like, because Limp Bizkit is one I've always wanted to see. Like, if we're like a dumb, fun show, hard to do better than Limp Bizkit. And they still bring it live from videos I've seen.
But like of all those bands, the one I'd most want to see is going to be Megadeth, which is your next line down.
Sure, you're like next,
But
on that one.
when I look at the entire fucking rest of the day there, I'm like, I don't even Tala maybe. I do like Tala a little bit.
Surprised you like Tala.
Well, hold on, I'm mixing them up with Fallujah.
That is a lot of difference there.
Well, they end in
And then, Tala's like,
It's like all bands in and are the same.
Jeez. Fucking
Weezer, Storm Toker.
God. Yeah, like this is that one, and then the Saturday is for you got Avenged Sevenfold, Pantera Reunion, and Falling in Reverse for the Saturday headliners. Avenged Sevenfold, I would go see because they have a lot. I would like to see them
For this episode, they're getting booed. I'll talk about how much I like them. Ultimately, which I don't like them. I don't know. You see, here we go again. I've already talked about this, I think, on here. So live, they're awesome. By all means, a cool show. But everything about that Saturday for me is boo.
And Pantera Reunion, we've talked about that enough, so we don't need to spend time on that.
Boo.
Falling in Reverse, that's another boo from me. They have a lot of controversy, which we will be getting into more on later in this episode. And on Sunday, possibly has the best three headliners together, actually. For the Sunday, you got Green Day, Queens of the Stone Age, and Turnstile.
Actually, when I'm looking at Sunday, that's almost the funnest day.
Sunday does have a real solid day from like the bands that I know. Of course, like Green Day, everybody knows Green Day. I want to see them at least once. Queens of the Stone Age, one of my favorite rock bands around, for sure. Turnstile, I'm very happy to see as a headlining name on this. Because they are the biggest band who is also the youngest out of all the headliners here, who has the most like recent rise to fame. They've got nominated for Grammys. They like went from like the hardcore streets of, I think they're from like Pittsburgh or Philadelphia or something, and now they're like up near the tops. They're headlining a major American festival, which is like kudos to Turnstile for getting this far now. As far as like other sub-headliners for a lot of days, Sunday might be one of the stronger days. Of course, they got Run the Jewels, which is just one of my favorite modern hip hop group, probably. Flog and Molly for your Celtic punk. Is that what they do? Like Celtic folk punk thing?
Yeah, fight people, fight your friends music or whatever.
Dropkick Murphy's Light.
Yeah.
The Interrupters, who made me like ska again, which is pretty crazy. AWOL Nation, as far as like poppy radio stuff, is okay. Rival Sons, I've heard of. I don't know their music super well though. I think it's like southern rock influence or something. Billy Talent was my favorite.
Rival Sons was the name I was looking at, and I think I'm mixing them up with like 6 different fucking bands I listen to, and none of them are that. So I don't know.
Billy Talent, who's underrated as fuck. They really should be like a headlining name. They're huge in Canada and Europe and everywhere else. They're like major hard rock band, like punk stuff, but Billy Talent is amazing. If you haven't listened to Billy Talent and you like anything in like the punk or alt rock realm, you need to give them a listen because they are amazing. Some other notable names in here, that I would want to go see
on any of
Sunday.
the days. Oh.
On Sunday, actually, the rest of the names I don't really like that much. I heard a lot of our friends being excited about Bagger Boys. I don't know shit about Bagger Boys. Census Fail, I heard is okay.
God damn, Whitechapel's low as fuck on that.
What day are they on?
They're on Saturday.
Shit, they are real low. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'd put them at least into that second.
How's Whitechapel that low? Suicide Silence still over them? That's yeah, okay. Like,
I don't know, but that did like I didn't even. That's the first time I actually noticed that their name was on here.
Yeah, like actually, like Saturdays has a pretty stacked lineup. Honestly, outside of you got Parkway Drive, which is a real strong one. Baby Metal, if you're into that. Their more recent stuff has actually been okay. It's been more like a more mature symphonic metal sounding thing.
Hey, I support all of it.
Death Clock.
I don't like all of it, but I support all of it.
Death Clock is, of course, great. Like, I always want to see them. The Who was good. Amity Affliction's good.
I mean, Thursday, the best name goes to Mannequin Pussy.
Mannequin Pussy. Yeah, that's... Who the fuck is Mannequin Pussy?
And Bob Villain.
Bob. I've heard that name, but that's not how I expected it to be spelled. Yeah, there's a lot of them. But there are some good names spread out very far across this thing. Like Guerrilla Warfare, See You Space Cowboy on the Thursday are good.
Mannequin pussy.
Fucking The Bronx, we've seen before. Nothing Nowhere is actually pretty cool to see on that list.
Mannequin pussy's my new favorite band.
We gotta look at Mannequin Pussy.
Yeah,
after
I was
this.
say I'm definitely intrigued.
Of course, you got like L7, White, Death Heaven, Nothing But Thieves. Thursday's got some good names. Code Orange is also a really great one. But yeah, and Saturday we haven't even talked about Friday yet.
And if you compare Saturday to Thursday, Whitechapel's on the same line as Mannequin Pussy.
That's all right. I'm gonna look real quick on my Spotify just see how big Mannequin Pussy is.
Yeah, let's say.
Because like I just need to know and see like what type of description.
I want to know where they're from too.
Mannequin Pussy, like they mannequin. That's not how you spell mannequin. Mannequin. There we go. Mannequin Pussy with a blue check mark. They are a sizable group actually. 253,000 monthly listeners on the old Spotify. They are a 3-piece here. No. Philadelphia punk band.
Sweet.
And they just released their third album, Patience. Yeah, so
I'm just mad I didn't come up with the name Mannequin Pussy.
that is quite a good name for it. They do have 2 women in the band, so like that's that. They're 3-piece.
2
like
women and a mannequin? No, I'm just kidding.
2 women and a big black guy.
Mm.
I don't know who plays what or who sings what or whatever. I just have the feeling the black guy's the drummer. I'm just guessing this just because I'm
You fucking musical racist.
I mean, I'm a big black drummer, so like
My
maybe
BBD.
I'm just like identifying with the guy a little bit. But yeah, I'll have to look up the music later. But I do love that name, Mannequin Pussy. More power to Mannequin Pussy. I hope they do real well louder.
I'm glad that I didn't need glasses to fucking read that. I almost needed it, but
Yeah. But this is there's some solid stuff spread out through this festival, but I just wish there was more of it on one day because, like, I do want to go back to Loud of Life at least for like one day because I couldn't do like a whole week.
fuck no, I could not do 30,000 people 4 days straight.
Yeah, there was enough with that like one day we did last time.
And I've done, see, that's like the thing I'm stuck with is I've done so many of my bucket list bands, and so much of what I listen to now is just we're more likely to play shows with them than they are fucking playing Louder in Life. So it's like,
Yeah.
the value of going to that big ass festival to me, and it's just like, I don't know, like I don't want to have that fucking old man. Oh, I've seen everybody, but as far as like who I really truly care about, a lot of those bands would be cool, but it's just like I'm not going out of my way. It's like fucking Green Day came to Lexington, I got a free ticket from the radio station. Be like, fuck yeah, I'll go see Green
Yeah,
Day.
I'm totally go see Green Day.
But I ain't fucking paying Louder in Life prices to go see.
Yeah, like let me just headline Rep Arena and I'll pay for that.
Yeah, if I so choose, because I don't even like shows at Rupp for the most part.
Yeah, like last show I went to at Rep was Korn, Slipknot, and King 810.
Mine was Elton John.
That is
No, that was. I mean, that's a Rupp Arena show for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely that's what I would have paid for.
I
too.
was so ridiculously in awe of the musicianship that night. You just.
I mean, Elton John's an all-time great for a reason.
Well, and it's funny because he's like, I couldn't play like my heroes because I have short, stubby, fat fingers and whatever.
And then plays awesome piano.
And then he's
parts.
just like, yeah, and he's just fucking ripping the whole time because like he doesn't play simple shit when he's singing.
Yeah, he's playing like
He's doing like the equivalent of fucking like, I don't know, fucking guitar players sweep arpeggiating while screaming.
I guess
the
like
entire time.
Megadeth level rhythm stuff, but on piano.
Yeah, dude, it's just, I don't know. Like it's by far one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life. It's
Like you made piano cool and rock and roll again.
It's like it's like them and Rush are probably like, or Elton John and Rush is, as far as just like the experience of singing something that's like not super in the metal realm. Like I didn't have to beat people's asses the entire time to enjoy myself type shit. Like I just sat in all of the shit that was happening, and yeah. But whatever, Louder Than Life fucking sucks. Boo.
Yeah, Louder Than Life, not the strongest. It's got good bands. It has good bands every year.
And I say it sucks. It's good for. The reason those exist is because there's an entire demographic of people that literally are looking forward to this shit every year.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not going to hate the people that have fucking the family lives and can only afford to do one thing.
This
a
is their
fucking
one
year,
big thing per year.
and it's the big blowout. And I mean, it exists. It exists for a reason, and it's successful for a reason.
I will say Europe still gets the better festivals.
I'm over here talking shit like if Louder Than Life is like, hey, Dorker, you want to play by the porta potties? He'd be like, fuck yeah!
Yeah, like we would totally, as much as we talk shit, we're just not to mention if this ever gets out, we're never playing Louder Than Life. Even if we
Well, I mean, anybody that fucking is in it knows what the repercussions of being in the market area that we're in.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's not necessarily Louder Than Life so much the problem as it is just Kentucky being not a market.
Yeah, we are a C market at best.
Yeah.
Like it's like we rarely get like the good tours that come through here.
Yeah, it's like when it's like when wrestling comes through, it's almost never TV. Like very rarely is TV, and then the crowd usually sucks, and then they fucking don't come back for like.
It's like, well, we tried that. Time to wait another 5 years.
It's like everybody sat on their hands all of Monday Night Raw, so fuck these motherfuckers. We ain't coming back. So yeah, no, like Kentucky, and just living here in general, it's because I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like, where was the fuck? Now I'm forgetting. Rock on the Range, Northern Ohio, Columbus area.
It was Columbus.
Yeah,
which is Sonic Temple now.
Was that actually okay? I didn't know. I didn't realize those were not one and the same, but
yeah, it just
I didn't know they transitioned.
Or something. I don't know why, but yeah.
But that area, you're closer to Cleveland. You got Columbus. Like you're gonna get cool shit throughout the entire fucking year, regardless.
Yeah, Columbus doesn't need their own festival. They got plenty of every big tour I see comes through Columbus at some point.
I would say, or at least Cleveland, and you're 3 hours away from there.
Cleveland too.
And it's like for us, about 3 hour radius is if it's really cool, we'll go.
Yeah, like we got like Nashville, Cincinnati, and Louisville as the bigger cities that we could travel.
And then
to.
Indy, if it's cool,
Yeah, Indy's in that 3 hour range too. So
I say I did that with Gojira, Devin Townsend, and Opeth, but yeah, no, like I said, it's. As much as it sounds like we just hate the fest, it's just you have to have a little cause I don't know, man. I used to go to so many like pre Louder Than Life. It was metal concerts after metal concerts after Louisville, especially.
Yeah, we had like more venues too. We had like the Tiger Room, Trixie's name before that, Expo 5.
Headliners actually did consistent metal stuff. Like it was almost like the thing I was paying the bills for a while.
And now we got like. Headliners was a big one.
Diamond Pub was the big one.
I've been to so many awesome shows at Diamond, never metal shows.
And seeing like I never put two and two together, but if you're those venues in Louisville, it probably is fucking hard to survive when you got goddamn Louder Than Life eating up.
Yeah, that's
so much of the potential calendar that could exist otherwise. Because I mean, how many fucking bands is that? 130 or some shit.
It's a lot. Like there's at least 20 per day.
And you got to think that, with the smallest band, you just Mannequin Pussy or whatever, it's 250,000 fucking followers or listeners.
And they're on like the mid range.
So, yeah, it's tough. But, like I said, it's not a Louder Than Life issue almost as much as it is just a Kentucky issue. Yeah. So I ain't going to blame anybody for fucking money. It prints money.
At least there are festivals like that in America that are big rock festivals.
Yeah, because that didn't exist at all. So it's like the catch-22.
And also, like with it being America, you need a lot of that big like radio market to be able to do.
Well, it existed,
festivals.
but it was the touring, so they couldn't do it as big.
Yeah,
because I mean, your Ozfest were 20 bands ish.
But yeah, Louder Than Life. That's the lineup. Overview for this year and what our thoughts on it are. There's some good, there's some bad, but if you want to go, that is going between September 21st and 24th. So if you can stand being in a big crowd like that for that many days, or at least one of the days,
what's the Louisville festival they do? That's the
Localer Than Life.
Oh yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah, like for like the.
And do they do it the same weekend?
Yep, they do it like the third, like the. Yeah, the kind of the same weekend, yeah. Local.
I'll go to that.
Support local bands. But, yeah, enough about Louder Than Life. Let's get into some, a really weird story, honestly, that's, like, come up in the things. Def Leppard, their drummer, the one-armed drummer Rick Allen, was attacked.
What a dick.
He was attacked outside of his hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Of course, this happens in Florida. Apparently, he was outside. Rick Allen, drummer for Def Leppard, was outside of a Four Seasons hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the day after a co-headline gig with Motley Crue in Hollywood, Florida, at the Hard Rock Live. He was attacked by a 19-year-old by the name of Max Edward Hartley, an Ohio native. Ohio showing its ass here in Florida.
How am I not surprised?
Yeah.
If we find a Jersey dude to throw in there, it'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah. So this Mr. Max Hartley, Ohio native, who was visiting Florida for some reason, while Allen was smoking a cigarette outside, he just ran up and attacked Rick Allen for no discernible reason. Like, there hasn't been any reason released yet or anything like that. A woman who was a bystander who noticed tried to help Rick Allen, but she was also attacked by this Hartley guy. And she tried to run into the hotel to try to escape him, but the guy went in there and dragged this chick out, and tried to beating her while she was down as well. And then this Max Hartley ran off somewhere. And he was found later at a separate hotel, smashing car windows. At that hotel. He was just doing real life Grand Theft Auto.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This guy was going on
I heard none of the rest of this. I just heard the one-armed man got fucking attacked, and I was just like, who the fuck? Who in public? But clearly this guy.
He was like, this 19-year-old kid playing real life Grand Theft Auto.
You answered the who before I got the fucking question out. Because, I was just like, who the fuck could possibly just be attacking a one-armed man out in the middle of nowhere?
A 19-year-old Ohioan, apparently.
Do better. Do better, Ohio. Just abort the whole state. Well, except for our good friends in Ohio that we're playing with pretty soon.
He was apprehended.
Sorry, Flock of Moons.
We you're the cool people from Ohio.
I mean, most anybody I know from Ohio fucking knows.
But
my ex-girlfriend's from Ohio.
Well, this might be an ex because of that.
It's definitely brought me pause on future Ohioans.
We've met a lot of cool people from Ohio. So this guy,
the self-aware Ohioans.
So this guy was apprehended at another hotel after smashing some car windows and charged with 2 counts of battery, 4 counts of criminal mischief, and the charge of abusing an elderly or disabled adult.
I want to know what NPC he got his mission from.
Man, it's been so long since I played GTA. I could even know who tells this dick Rick Allen from Def Leppard here is you should go kick his ass. He's the guy with one arm.
Yeah.
But yeah, while he was being arrested, I guess he was asked if he was a Def Leppard fan, to which he did not respond.
Who's asking him if he's a Def Leppard fan?
The article did not say. I don't know if it was a reporter or just some passerby or bystander.
A cop just being
yo, you're Def Leppard, why'd you beat up Rick Allen? But yeah, that's a Florida as fuck story. If I have to say, did he get into some bath salts or something? What happened to this guy?
I mean, when you mix Ohio and Florida, it's just a bad chemical reaction.
That's a cocktail from hell, right?
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying.
Ohio and Florida. Yeah. So just put some fucking Mississippi in there, and you'll have a real.
I was say y'all should go vacate in California or something. Get the fuck away from Florida.
Yeah, that's just a real weird one. That's because I just saw
close the borders. The Ohioans are coming.
The story was weird enough with just Rick Allen, the one-armed drummer, getting attacked. But then when I read the details on it, it's oh shit, this is some real Florida shit here that's going on.
Yeah, no, like I said, the fact that hey, at least he's a kid and he's getting outside and getting some fresh air.
Rick Allen is pressing charges on the kid.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So,
I only have one goddamn arm. Please
don't beat up the other one.
Man, and don't, as I say, the lady should probably get hers too, but.
That's just a really weird story. But yeah, hopefully Rick Allen recovers real easily and that.
See, I wonder if there was any, obviously there probably wasn't any shit talk, but in my head they were arguing and fucking Rick and I was I'll beat you with my missing arm.
I can drum with one arm, I can whoop your ass with one arm too. But yeah, hopefully Rick Allen didn't get too overly hurt during that and is able to continue his playing and touring with enough ease. Another more News
It
this
should have been Lars.
Jesus Christ. So no Metallica news this week.
Thank God.
We got till April till that comes.
We did reference Lars twice already, though.
Yes, yes, we did. Or not to. This next news story is either something you will be looking forward to, or it's a warning. 6 Feet Under.
No.
6 Feet Under says they are nearly done writing their new album.
No.
In a Twitter post, 6 Feet Under frontman Chris Barnes said that he and guitarist Jack Owen are nearly done writing their follow-up to 2020's album Nightmares of the Decomposed.
Oh, the humanity.
It is being co-written with Jack Owen, who was the original Cannibal Corpse guitarist alongside Chris Barnes back during the OG days of Cannibal Corpse.
It's sucking my will to live.
Jack Owen, for those who don't know, played with Cannibal Corpse from their start in 1988 all the way up until 2004, before moving on to playing with Deicide from 2004 to 2016, and joined 6 Feet Under in 2017.
So he's stepping down every time, is what you say.
I mean, as far as popularity goes, well, yeah, stepping down popularity, at least in respect.
I mean,
anyway.
I don't know what the split from Cannibal Corpse entailed, but if you go from Glenn Benton to fucking Chris Barnes, I don't know, dude. You probably can't get better jobs.
Yeah, like that.
And I love Deicide.
I love me some Deicide.
But I feel like
next album.
Glenn Benton's like a mixed bag to deal with.
I know. Like, I've heard an interview with him on the Josta show, and he seemed like surprisingly an okay guy for being Glenn Benton. Given there's a lot of people I've heard make like friendly interviews that weren't the greatest people.
I'm not talking shit. I do highly enjoy Deicide, and Glenn Benton's just one of those ones that I look at I'm just like, eh. But if you go from Corpse to Deicide and now you're in 6 Feet Under, it's just like if you're joining 6 Feet Under now, what musical fucking inspiration did you have thinking this was going to be something fucking great to do?
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm curious here, like the possibility. I mean, his time at Deicide, he is responsible for like some of the highly regarded Deicide work, such as In the Minds of Evil. He was on that record, which was one of my favorite Deicide records, actually. And currently has their most popular song, In the Minds of Evil, as well, for Deicide, as far as streaming goes.
I don't think he's going to help this.
He might not. Like, hey, this
is he doing vocals too?
Not doing vocals.
Well, yeah. So he can't help this enough.
Yes. In case you haven't, you've probably, if you don't know who 6 Feet Under is, you've definitely seen a TikTok.
They're the death metal meme of all death metal memes, essentially.
Essentially, like, it's this basically Chris Barnes, who has fallen from grace because he started off as like one of the OGs of the death growl vocal to now being a shadow, if you can even say a shadow.
Just being dicks to bands too.
He could get away a little bit like subpar if he just wasn't a dick.
So the first time I saw Cattle Decapitation, they were a few years removed from being kicked off 6 Feet Under tour, or they either got kicked off or they quit the tour. I'm not quite sure how exactly it played out. And my buddy Brad, just in the middle of like a quiet moment, like right before a song or right before Travis Ryan was going to talk to the crowd, he's just like, Chris Barnes!
Oh my God.
And like Travis Ryan just kind of fucking whatever. He kind of was like, yeah, what the fuck? And then he just is like, hey, me, you, in the back, forced gender reassignment. And was pretty much pointing out Brad for the intro of forced gender reassignment. So, yeah, and I've seen 6 Feet Under, and it was okay.
I saw a live video of them.
They play with Decrepit Birth, I think, and Decrepit Birth is
they are
way better.
Decrepit Birth, I've seen Decrepit Birth live too, and like they're awesome. The singer is good friends with Chris Barnes, though. They got
they're fucking weed men.
Yeah, they're deaf. But at least the guy from Freaking Decrepit Birth can still do vocals.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that I have no desire. I mean, I'm sure I'll listen to it.
Another
because it's goddamn podcast.
Oh yeah, we'll be talking about it when that record comes out.
You and my buddy Andrew were like leading men and showing me terrible fucking music.
Another like cattle decapitation story associated with this. I don't know if you caught it when we saw cattle decap last year in February, but right before cattle decap came out, Travis Ryan did a mic check by doing a little Chris Barnes impression. Where he went like, they think they know who I am, although they know is I love to eat.
I honestly don't recall, but I think I was pretty fuckered.
But it was hilarious.
It was a fucking phenomenal show.
The day after the show, I made a post on Instagram in my cattle decap shirt that I bought, talking about the little impression you did, and Travis Ryan liked my post.
So a band that we really like just be roasted, and a band that we really don't.
Yes, like the last 16 Under record, Nightmares of the Decomposed, solid riffs.
Well, I remember coming up and like the fucking AC/DC covers, like everybody fucking like
Trash on Graveyard Classics.
Yeah, and it was like a thing. Like people actually listened to that shit and jammed it, and I was like,
Cause I'm TNT.
And it's like
Dynamite.
even then, when he actually had his voice, it was so fucking on the borderline of parody to me that
It
I was like,
goofy as shit, bro. It
yeah.
was real goofy.
So and again, I saw him live. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it was like, oh man, I'm seeing it from Cannibal Corpse, and it just didn't seem very monumental. I've had that a few times where I see people and I'm like, this
Just
should
let down from it.
and it's not even that it was necessarily let down. It's just that like you want like a classic band that blew my fucking balls off was Raven.
Yeah, like at FTA.
Yeah, I had no fucking idea. And then you see other bands where you're like, all right, they're highly respected. They might not be my shit that I've jammed all the time, but I'm looking forward to see them because I want them to kick my ass. And then you get Sacred Reich. And that was I did.
That would disappoint me too because I do like Sacred
It was
Reich.
the most boring fucking. It's a thrash show, and I was just like.
Thrash by design should not be a boring show.
Yeah, it was just, and I was like, I'm seeing one of the most classic thrash bands I hadn't seen to that point. I was like, oh, that happened. So it's just one of those weird things that, like, if you're not into it, and you're like, say, you're going to go see this figure, like the figure has to live up to being the figure in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. It's like I don't like Soulfly a lot, but the first time I saw Max, I ended up seeing him like 5 or 6 times. Now it seems like, or 4, whatever. I've seen him more than I intended to. Like the first time, I still felt that's fucking Max Cavalera. The first time, and I just Chris Barnes. It was just. There's none of that.
Disappointment.
Yeah. It's like you want to... The dude just fucking help start the fucking thing, and there you go. It's just like, he's a guy. He's a guy that goes,
A funny
and
addition.
I'm a guy that goes, boo.
A funny little addition to this story. Cannibal Corpse bassist Alex Webster was asked about the reunion of Owens and Barnes in an interview fairly recently, and he said that he was happy for them. And when he was like going into detail about being happy for them, he was talking about how Jack Owens great at writing good grooves. Said that the drums really cool. Said the bass work is really good. He did not mention anything about the vocals, though, in his interview about it. He was just talking about, the guitar works real good, the drums are awesome, I really like the grooves they got going on. No mention of Chris Barnes.
It reminds me of one of the first, I don't remember what it was on exactly, but it was like one of the first reviews Theories of the Apocalypse got, and there was no mention of the vocals whatsoever. But I was bad then. Yeah. I was bad. It might have been literally like a fucking MySpace thing.
Yeah, that's from way back.
Yeah, and we had like fucking bad, like pretty much me trying to figure out where my voice even was. Like, had no business trying to record it already, and it
takes some time to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially if you're not a natural.
Yeah.
I've been no way natural in any of my vocal abilities, so done it well for a long time, but it took work.
Like some of you, like for every 50 people I see not excited about this new 6 Feet Under, I see 1 or 2 that are. So You got that to look forward to.
Boo, you two.
Possibly by around this time next year, we could have a new 6 Feet Under record to talk about. Well, yeah. Enough about 6 Feet Under. Time to get into some different modern band drama. We're going to talk about some classic band drama now for some modern band. Metalcore and other genre style band Spirtbox has dropped off the Falling in Reverse popular MonsTOUR tour. This follows the band removing all mention of the tour from their social media about last week or so. And they were set to tour with Falling in Reverse for 6 dates on the tour with them, Ice Nine Kills, and some other bands that were like rotating dates on Falling in Reverse's upcoming tour. Spirtbox got a lot of negative comments from their fans on social media about them being part of the tour due to a lot of the controversy that surrounds Man of Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke, as well as one of the other bands on the bill, Crown the Empire, whose guitarist, I believe, was accused of abusing his girlfriend, and Ronnie Radke is supporting that guy vocally. Of course, Ronnie Radke has his own controversy that he has, as well as like his beefs with different other musicians, past homophobic remarks that he's made, and as well as like his old arrest from 10 years ago with abusing his girlfriend and being connected to a manslaughter charge thing from 10 years ago. Ronnie Radke is a big polarizing figure and rubbed a lot of Spirtbox's fans the wrong way, especially since they speak out against certain things like abuse against women and other things of that nature.
As one should.
As what?
As one should.
Yes, as one should. But yeah, they dropped off the tour. They didn't make any mention of why on their social media. They just said that they are dropping off and that anybody who wants refunds should go to the point of purchase.
Yeah, I see. I feel like that's one of those bad management calls.
Yeah, because
I don't think Spirtbox. I think Spirtbox probably got coerced into fucking wanting to do it.
I mean, financially, on paper, it does look like a good tour to do. I mean, like, Falling in Reverse is a fast-rising band, and they possibly have some crossover musically with some of their fans.
But considering all things considered, I would say that, yeah, it's a tough position for a female-fronted band to be in.
Yes, it's hard.
And
it wouldn't look good for a band that...
especially a popular band with the youth of today.
Yes.
Which... that sounded so old. God damn, I'm old.
We are old. We're kind of...
But it's a fair statement. Like, you know, people are more apt to...
it would look very hypocritical on their part.
Yeah, and it's like if they got a band that was outside of that, which, I mean, fuck, that last tour they did pretty much had everybody outside of that. But yeah, you get a band with a progressive group of thinkers, and like, I've never liked fucking Ronnie Radke either, and I don't even think I needed any of the other. I don't think I needed any of the additional.
The music
evidence.
alone was enough for you.
Yeah, so good for them, honestly, because I think it's probably short term, but
I really like. They were kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't on this one, like, because they probably didn't even like decide to join on a tour themselves. It was only for 6 dates, so they're not losing out on much.
I would say to truly say, like, because anybody that would be critical of a band like that taking such an opportunity, you know, there's only so many fucking paydays that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
Even for a band on that level, like, you're still ascending.
Yeah, there's only so many bands that could take out a band like Spirtbox that's like an arena level band.
Yeah.
Mind you.
So it's one of those things, like, you know, and you don't know when it's over. Like, so, like, when you're thinking, oh, should I turn down this money short term for long term? I mean, if you're kind of like me, I don't try to think super long term on a lot of things. But that's just because shit happens, you know. Fucking, you know, you can have long-term goals by all means, but, you know, fuck, I know more bands that are broke up in my lifetime than are still together. So, like I said, man, like, it's hard for bands to just be like, oh no, even when there's like questionable people at play and shit, because money fucking talks.
Money does.
And if you've done this music thing, you know, and you grinded, I don't know what Spirtbox's story fucking is, but if you've had to grind even if you start with money, it's still a lot of fucking work to get it to where it needs to go.
Oh, yeah, Spirtbox, they've had the claw their way. A lot of people consider Spirtbox, or may get the misconception that Spirtbox got fame relatively overnight, but it really wasn't like that way for them. Because, of course, like the singer Courtney LaPlante and her husband, who's the guitarist, first got some popularity in I Wrestled a Bear Once. As as like Courtney LaPlante was the second singer for I Wrestled a Bear Once, and her husband was the replacement guitarist. Neither one of them founded that band, but they were like replacement members for members that left. And they had a degree of popularity with that band before that band went under. Years later, they started to form a bedroom project.
You want to talk about the Mallcore t-shirts back in the day?
I Wrestled a Bear Once.
Oh, dude, everybody had a I Wrestled a Bear Once t-shirt.
That band slapped. Like, it was basically like...
It was fun. I don't remember much, but it was funner than a lot of the shit that was going on.
Essentially, it's like take Dillinger Escape Plan and put Nintendo Core in the mix. That's kind of what their sound was. And they had like the weird quirky titles like fucking that ain't them dogs real faces and
yeah.
fucking like Kevin Bacon or something. Or tastes like Kevin Bacon. That's
pretty much the emo band meme trope that's been popping up recently.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, they were a great band. Like both Courtney LaPlante's era and the previous singer's era were both like dope as fuck. But yeah, like Spirtbox, hopefully they don't continue to get too much flack for this whole situation, and fans don't try to drop off the wagon for them just over this little snafu, I guess you could call it.
I mean, I don't think in the climate that they'll be hurt too much. I think it's more a valid fucking thing to do.
Yeah. Speaking about the Spirtbox dropping off the tour.
If somebody is able to take a moral stand and can do it, do it. And I feel like they wouldn't do it if they didn't feel like they could.
Essentially. Ronnie Radke, I don't know if he was asked this in an interview or if he just volunteered this statement on Twitter. But Ronnie Radke mentioned that he feels sorry for Spirtbox and the flack that they've been getting, and said that he feels sorry that some of the fans are kind of assholes. That's what Radke decided to say about this situation. Which sounds like a Ronnie Radke thing to say.
Yeah, douche waffle.
Definitely a douche waffle.
I'll give him a light boo because he doesn't even deserve the full extent of my voice.
He has been getting a few too many headlines recently. I mean, given he did have like the biggest rock song in America, like recently.
Which just tells you all you need to know about good old US of A.
America, baby. Oh, yeah.
Goddamn Pantera coming to goddamn hour knife. I am in. But yeah.
But enough about Ronnie Radke and falling in reverse. Here's some happier news.
Thank God.
Japanese metalcore band Crystal Lake has found a new vocalist to replace their previously departed one, Ryo Kinoshita, who had to leave the band due to having adjustment disorder, which hindered his ability to tour and perform with the group. For those unaware, if you're in the metalcore circle, you're already well aware of who Crystal Lake is. They were one of the most highly praised and regarded bands in the modern metalcore world, and had a number of albums that I personally liked a whole lot. I didn't get into them until their 2020 album. I believe it was called Apex or something along those lines. I do know that it was a pretty creative blend of modern metalcore with some other styles. That was the last album with their vocalist Ryo, who had to leave, and now for a replacement they found American vocalist John Robert Centorino, who was previously the vocalist for the last 10 Seconds of Life. And it seems like a bit of an odd choice. It seems like they've held auditions trying to find a new vocalist, and it seems odd that they would pick an American, but it is an American with a name who's used to touring, so that makes sense. I have seen Last 10 Seconds of Life. They are popular in the kind of beat down metalcore circles, but I personally don't like them all that much. I didn't like Last 10 Seconds of Life, and their vocalist wasn't really a standout vocalist to me. Definitely doesn't have the same level of ability that Ryo had. And also, I don't know if he was the same singer that they had when I saw Last 10 Seconds of Life. I just know that show I saw him on was kind of terrible, to be honest. And like when I saw them as well, like about a month after I saw them live, everybody except the guitarist left that band.
I just disassociated like a motherfucker because I have no idea who any of these motherfuckers really are. I know the name Last 10 Seconds to Life, but
Have you heard of Crystal Lake before?
I think I've seen it somewhere. I don't know. Couldn't have told you they were Japanese, so...
Well, they were like a very well-regarded band. I'm curious to hear what they will sound like with this new vocalist. Hopefully, they're able to release some new music soon and like start to the version of Crystal Lake, I guess 3.0, because this is their third vocalist now that they've had. But more power to Crystal Lake. Thankfully, they'll be able to get their career back on track and get things underway for them releasing new music and touring again. The last news story we got for y'all today. Rolling Stone magazine released a list of what they consider the, quote, 100 greatest heavy metal songs of all time.
Which is just absurd.
These type of lists are always something that's like, no matter what anybody puts, just people are going to disagree about it.
Well, like, so just for reference, when you're talking about the 100 greatest songs of all time, and consider that, like, there was some doom metal website that covered like 400 to 500 records or some shit this past year or so, like, of just one genre. And just think about anybody who's been listening to this style of music for any amount of time, and think about 100 albums. When you're trying to narrow it down to 100 songs, like, the list is just pretty fucking preposterous. There we go. English, motherfucker. Do I speak it?
Not very well, apparently.
I'm speaking fucking Japanese here now. My eyes are fucking woo. No,
Domo
but
arigato, Mr. Roboto.
yeah, that edible is in full effect now, y'all. But that, like I said, these lists, because I mean, when you're talking like guitar players or like drummers, or and you're just talking about like musicians, and you got like the scope of like their career and stuff like that. Those lists, as bullshit as they end up, still have a little bit of legitimacy just because, you know, again, there's just the opinions that many people can have. It's like the cop-out fucking number one on this list, and then the fact that like your top 20, 30, you get a bunch of fucking repeats on bands, and then towards the end of the list, all you get is kind of like, oh, let's name drop everybody at least once.
Yeah, essentially, like when I was
and I'd argue that a lot of them aren't even those bands' best songs either. But like, you can't make a list like this fairly. Like 100 songs is so fucking few. Like, make a 100-song playlist and see how many days you're listening to it. It's literally like maybe 2, depending how you split that shit up.
It's when I was going over this list, basically the list stops getting surprising, or like list, but they said that there's no interesting picks past number 30 on this list.
Okay, but my question is, if Riley Gale isn't dead, is Power Trip on the list at all?
That's something I think wouldn't happen. I think it kind of had a Kurt Cobain effect with that one.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the literal back half of the list to me, and I just looked through it a couple times while we've been sitting here, whatever, and I don't really remember anything specifically standing out to me as shitty. Like Rat Round and Round being in the top 20. That's and I'm not. I love that fucking song. Like the kid in me loves that song because that was all about some 80s shit when I was really, really young. But, and I still love the song, but fucking naming it the top 20 in the grand scheme of this entire fucking genre, and it's like you could probably put, I don't know where Motley Crue's top song ended up.
Let's see. I thought I found a full list, but this is just the top 10 that they put down here. Crue is not in the top 10, I can tell you that much.
Well, I didn't think they'd be that high, but if they're not higher than Rat, I'd call them bullshit.
Yeah, this is Richard. I do appreciate that they did include some extreme metal into the mixture things, so they didn't neglect that side of the metal world.
Because like the full spectrum is what represented somehow.
Yes, that is fair.
I question the choices. Because, like, again, it's just like, I feel like you were just name dropping bands towards the back half just to have fucking bands in there.
Yeah, there was some, like, a big criticism with this list is that there's a lack of modern metal represented. Basically, like, I remember a headline, I think it was from...
And that's where I made that point. Because, like I said, I don't know. I hate saying that because it's a great song. But, yeah. Rolling Stone can get like 100.
All right, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties when we got into the Rolling Stone Top 100 Metal List conversation here. Currently don't know how much of that conversation got dropped, so I'm going to edit that part out here later, so you'll just be hearing this part going on, but we may just have to skip that little part there.
Lists are hard.
Yeah, lists are hard. That's the gist of it. The list sucks. Rolling Stone's a bunch of boomers.
I mean, list sucks, but list also, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, that's the gist of the point of that conversation. So we're just going to skip ahead here and get into the heavy music singles. First, on the big singles that were released this week, we finally have, after 7 long years, we have the first new music from Avenged Sevenfold. You gotta be all right there, David.
It's fucking boo.
Avenged Sevenfold.
Total boo.
With the first single
Boo.
from their upcoming album,
Boo boo.
titled Nobody.
Boo boo ass water.
This is gonna be their 8th album,
Yeah, I mean, congratulations.
and the album is called Life Is But a Dream,
Boo.
out on June 2nd.
Fuck June.
It comes 7 years after the previous album, The Stage, and this album took 4 years for them to write and record. And,
Damn, it took him that long to write that piece of shit single.
and the album is going to be inspired by the writing and philosophy of Albert Camus, known for his writings on existentialism. And that is the theme of this upcoming album.
Man,
Avenged Sevenfold's going
when
deep.
a fun rock and roll band starts doing this shit, this is, yeah.
As can be told from like their previous album, The Stage, it is very clear that Avenged Sevenfold is diving full into being a progressive metal band now. And they are continuing that trend from The Stage with this, even with the same questionable trend of releasing having the first single of the album be something a lot more challenging than you'd expect for a single. This song Nobody is a 6-minute plus song that is it's not very single-like. It's definitely not like other Avenged Sevenfold singles outside of The Stage or the previous record.
It's not a very good song, like.
This track Nobody, like I personally, I was like a bit off-put by it at first, but I actually enjoy the song. I do like this one a lot.
Boo, Donte.
I like giving, like, I have to tip you got to tip your hat to Avenged Sevenfold, being a big radio level band and taking this type of risk. They changed labels to be able to release this type of music. Because this is definitely like off the beaten path of being writing stuff that's like meant for radio. They're full on trying to be an unorthodox.
You're not turning me.
band.
You're not turning me into a positive route. This song was boo boo as fuck.
This song is not. I didn't think it was boo, but I thought it's very creative, creative choice. Like I like the drone, kind of like the droning quality of it. The atmosphere they try to build with it. The drumming that Brooks Wackerman puts in it, which has a bit of an industrial edge to it. Like electronic industrial edge thing. The little droney hook that's on it. I will say though, M. Shadow's vocals does sound more weathered than they previously have. That was like one possible criticism I had with it, because he does sound like his voice. He's getting that Axl Rose aged thing. That where his voice isn't as high as it used to be. He used to have like a much higher range. I don't know if that was a creative choice or if that's something that's just him being limited with where his vocals.
If it was a creative choice, he needs to go back to the goddamn drawing board. I tried to listen to the song for a second time just to like actually have like a better reference on it. Got about halfway through. I was like, no. No for me. 0 out of 5.
0 out of 5. I give this one a 4 out of 5. Actually,
Wow.
I really like the more I listen to this song, the more I just wind up liking it more. I do like the interesting guitar work, especially like some Sinister Gates, like sweet picking shreddiness that's for the guitar solo on this thing. This one is definitely one that's like polarizing though.
I don't hate him. yeah, nothing that I enjoyed about them is there. And I'm all for the creative choices and all that, but there's also a little bit to still staying in that realm that your fan base is based out of.
True, like the fans are split on this. I looked on Facebook, basically seeing the comments on this, because usually on the comments of a band's page that they're releasing a song on or giving an update on, you'll see like what the fans of the band think of.
But they're getting fucking old too. But like, it's just fucking the whole thing of like one of the more fun fucking metal rock and roll fucking acts that existed, as far as just their image and whatever, has now became like, oh, we're going to try to be smart guys now. And it's like, you're not going to, I mean, again, kudos if for all reasons. It's just a creative thing that they want to fucking do and they don't give a shit. But also like I don't know, like if I'm in that position, I'm making all the goddamn money in the world being the goddamn fun band, like go be the fucking fun band, dude. I don't know. Like, so this song just did nothing for me. And like I've already talked about my history of just not liking how the records are produced. I didn't notice anything in this production that made me fucking hate it anymore, but it was just boring. M Shadows sounded like shit. And that's pretty much my takeaway.
Like, this one is definitely polarizing for the fans. Like, on the comments, there was definitely more people that were downing this song than supporting it. I saw some fans that were supporting them, talking about how like the band changes their sound every album. This is consistent with them. There were some people that did like the stage, that do like the new progressive metal direction they're going in.
We brought a keys and sax player in, so we don't give a fuck either. But we ain't got, like I said, we ain't got this huge
We ain't
fucking
making Avenged Sevenfold money.
Yeah, and again, I'm not, if they're 100% just dead set creatively on doing stuff like this, yeah, like I'll give them credit.
I'll say, like, after getting mixed reviews on the previous album, The Stage, for them to continue on this path, more power to them, because I feel like they're definitely dead set on being going down this lane.
I wish more bands did it, but I just don't know how much artistic value they have to do that too much. We'll see.
We shall see. Like with the last album that they had with The Stage, they released like a big 9-minute epic in the title track, but there was other songs on the album that were more closer to the conventional sound Avenged Sevenfold is known for. So maybe that's something that this album will also contain. This being another concept record, it's possible they could be leaning more into this atmospheric progressive sound as well, but only time will tell when they release another single down the line. Going into something that's total opposite direction of this song, we have Incendiary with their new single, Bite the Hook. This is the first single from their upcoming album, Change the Way You Think About Pain, out May 26 on Close Casket Activities. And this is their first album in 6 years, following 2017's 1,000 Mile Stare.
Good tune, terrible fucking voice.
I actually love the voice. I love the...
Because you sound like him.
I do not sound like him. Like, why do you think I sound like a New York hardcore guy?
Well, you're just a Chicago hardcore guy.
Jesus
you fucking
Christ.
city slicking bastard.
Basically, I love how like New York Incendiary's vocalist sounds, because like basically this whole song is like, I'm from New York, I'm Brooklyn born, I'm New York hardcore.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like,
Go get a pizza,
gabagoo. No.
Incendiary.
Yeah. So there's 2 singles that aren't winning this week for me. I thought the track was fine. That dude's voice was too.
It's kind of like I started people compare it to Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine a bit.
I don't know. I didn't like it. Just sound like really mad white boy.
Like, you can be really mad white boy if you're from New York. That's a special brand of really mad white boy that I enjoy.
What are white people so mad over?
I don't know. I feel like if you're like a white dude from like working class New York, you get a pass. That's why like the first good white rappers are from New York. That's like,
I mean, fair point.
But yeah, essentially this is just like poor broke New York white dudes like hip hop, essentially like New York hardcore. which is like it's pretty good. Like I've heard of Incendiary for years, but this is like my first time I can remember giving them a real listen.
Madball's from New York, right?
Yeah, Madball's like the kings of New York hardcore.
I love Madball.
I mean, like them along with fucking
You know, I was jamming the other day.
What?
Fucking Earth Crisis.
really.
It's fucking all about it.
You're like slowly, weirdly getting into hardcore more and more.
Well,
What's
the good shit.
classics?
Well, I was gonna say there is a certain vein of it that definitely endears more to me than others. And I need to have a conversation with a few of my buddies to figure out more
Firestorm.
along those lines. Well, fuck, man, like Madball caught me. Like they were on True Crime Streets of L.A.
Yeah, I
or
think they were.
one of those two games, like because they're what, Streets of New York, Streets of L.A.
Yeah, the second one was Streets of New York.
So like, but one of those games had Pride or whatever, the Madball tune, and I don't know. I just thought it was fucking catchy.
Madball, like they're great. Like they were like.
I think I heard it at a time that I wasn't even really sure. Fucking, I don't know. That game had to be like when we were like what 12, 13.
I was like, what 2001? It was on PS2.
Yeah, so we're still pretty goddamn young. So hearing that, I'm just thinking it's some fucking, which it is. I mean, that's all hardcore is like the punkier thrash offshoot.
Essentially, especially Madball, because they like walk that line of doing like that classic punk.
So I'm hearing the riffs, and but like the whole thing was when I got to be a teenager, hardcore became again the fashion shit, and I was just like, I don't like this. So like hardcore for me, like the hardcore that I'm discovering that I do actually really fucking enjoy, like Terror and
the metallic hardcore,
which is funny. The Earth Crisis was a CD that I had back in the day too.
You just didn't realize.
I mean, I listened to a little bit of it. I just
vegan straight edge hardcore,
kind of passed over it. But yeah, no. So if anybody would like to send Dave some suggestions, Terror, Earth Crisis, and Madball, just go from there.
That's pretty. Yeah, it's like the OGs of metallic hardcore. That's like I could give you more suggestions on that one.
I don't want Donte suggestions. He has terrible taste in music.
Fuck you, David. That's the whole basis. Freaking heavy Haystack like thing I got.
That's why that's why we're perfect co-hosts.
Yes, we are. But yeah, I enjoyed Incendiary. Bite the hook. I'm excited to hear what the rest of this record's going to have. Close Casket Activities, the label's been on a good tear of like releasing quality records and bands. This next one is one I think, outside of like the last single that we have to talk about, is going to be the favorite for David here. Sylosis, Deadwood.
So, yeah, but just before you even get into it, I'm not listening to a lot of them. But is this a directional shift in any way, shape, or form, or is this pretty par for the course?
Mostly this style is par for the course, except the addition of melodic vocals is a new addition to their thing.
Okay. Because me with limited knowledge, I was like, what is this butt rock stink that is like permeating from this?
Yes, like starting with the last record that Silas put out was in 2020 called Cycles of Suffering. And to my knowledge, that is the first addition of melodic vocals into their mixture of sound. They're mostly known for being like a thrashy metalcore-ish leaning band, groove metal. Kind of mixture of thrash, groove metal, and metalcore is kind of like what Sylosis is known for.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the track, but it was just like, it sounded like the wrong singer for part of it. And I was like, because like I said, with no knowledge of the band, that's why I asked the question the way I asked it and got the answer I was looking for. I mean, I'll give it like a 3 out of 5. Like it's good, but that weird voice, like, and maybe if I heard it in context with some more shit and knew where it was coming from or whatever, but like, I don't know, it just sounded like a band that's trying to shoot up from somewhere.
Well, something to note, frontman and guitarist of Sylosis, Josh Middleton, also plays in the band Architects as well.
Okay.
He was their replacement guitarist for the now deceased Dan Searle. Or Tom Searle. I forget which Searle was the one that died. Sorry, apologies.
Sorry, living Searle.
Sorry, living Searle, and sorry about your brother, who was a great guitarist. But Josh Middleton was the replacement, and that's part of the reason why Sylosis went on a 3-year hiatus, because he was like filling in on duties for Architects as a guitarist. And maybe some of that new melodic direction that Architects is going in is rubbing off on Middleton a little bit and influencing his main Sylosis project, where he's trying to implement a little bit more of a melodic edge into things. I personally like the melodic vocals. I think that it didn't sing outside of his range too much. It fit as like a nice little melodic end part on the song. The melodic vocals he had on the Cycles of Suffering album were like pretty solid. And that was one of my favorites of that year in 2020, actually. That was my first taste of Sylosis in 2020. And I think that Ben has something pretty strong there, if I do say so myself.
It was okay.
So Deadwood by Sylosis. No new album announced yet, but Sylosis did say that this is just a taste of things to come in 2023 for the band. So there could be more Sylosis coming later this year. So fans of the band have that to look forward to. Next up is Frozen Soul, Arsenal of War, the second single from their upcoming album Glacial Domination, out May 19th. This song is... Well, first, let me hear what you think about the song, there, David.
Shit slaps, dude.
Really? Okay, cool. I
actually listened to this one like multiple times on the car ride over.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that you were going to shit on it a little bit because, like, after if you did happen to shit on it, I was going to say this is actually dedicated to two of the members' deceased brother. Like this song. But yeah, like it's
well, okay. Trying to set me up
a little. It would have been kind of funny, but like you like the song, so
well, let's say sorry, Frozen Soul, y'all slap. So Donte can't make fun of dead people or whatever the fuck he's trying to do. I was gonna do some big funny catch you like in a thing, but I guess not. But this song is good. I do enjoy this song as well. It's definitely. The full reveal of what your plan was and the fact that it didn't come to fruition. You even tried to put another song on me. You're like, oh, I think Sylosis is going to be David's favorite.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be one that you, outside of like the next one for obvious reasons. But this song was actually pretty good. Like it's more closer to like what Frozen Soul is known for. The first single was one that featured John Gallagher from Dying Fetus. It was more slammy. But this is more along that Bolt Thor-esque Mortician type of like groovy death metal stuff.
It's just thick and awesome.
Yeah, like, it's good. Like I do like the production job that Matt Heafy of Trivium is one of the producers for this album.
It does have a very distinct sound.
Yes. I do like that the vocals are a lot more understandable on this record. It seems to be the one thing with the improved production job the band's going for.
Well, vocalist over time, I think always improve with that a little bit.
True. This is only going to be their second album, so like their first record, Arctic Stranglehold, I think it was called. Or,
it's like
or something about ice. This is their whole thing.
Just compare Randy from New American Gospel to the Ashes of the Wake with his pronunciation.
That is true. He improved it a lot as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as, I mean, I know I drag shit out and say shit weird, but all in all, like I think I'm more understandable now than I used to be.
You are pretty understandable. You really also like. Of course, I only have like the Theories of the Apocalypse record and the time I've been with you in this band to really go off of. I don't know about the early Theories years to compare.
Oh, that was like I already talked about them earlier. They were poopy.
Yeah,
apparently they didn't even mention them in the review.
But
if I'm not mistaken, I think the review was also written by a certain band that keeps winning awards.
Really?
The particular guy that keeps accepting those awards every year. The one that keeps losing recording engineer because Jason Groves is the fucking man.
Fuck yeah.
But
shout out Jason Groves, Sneak Attack.
Yeah. And I'm over here talking shit. It wasn't a bad review. Honestly, him keeping the vocals out at that particular time was probably a service.
It gave you time to improve and make a better impression on people.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like I said, I mean, fuck, you just look at Corpse Grinder over the years. I mean, fuck, they have like full on like hooky choruses now.
Yeah.
So,
like, I could sing along the Cannibal Corpse song, which is some odd thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arsenal of War got that nice groovy old school death metal sound. It's a little bit of Bolt Thor Mortician worship. I am enjoying it and very excited for when this album comes out.
Yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
And the last single, last but not least, which I mostly put in here for David's sake.
They're a big band, Donte.
They are a
I
big
don't know why
band,
you
but-
keep wanting to shit on them every time we
I
talk
don't
about
shut
it.
up, but like it's Overkill with their second single from their upcoming album Scorched called Wicked Place. And something I did want to read something real quick because on their Facebook post about the single, Bobby Blitz had a little excerpt he had about the song that was very Bobby Blitz like that he had to say about the song. On it about this new song, Wicked Place, he says, quote, "One of my favorite rides on the record. A big, thick groove reminiscent of days gone by with a modern punch in the snoot. Get wicked." Bobby Blitz.
Yeah. I mean, the strongest trope of Overkill is the fucking slow down groovy riff that happens in a lot of their songs.
Yes, this one's kind of like a mid-tempo.
Yeah, it's still in the bass tone, man. That fucking Dee Dee Vernie bass tone I envy the fuck out of it because it's got that clang, it's got that fucking like Frank Bello clang, but it's so fucking round at the same time. Like, I think that's honestly contributed a lot to my love of the band over the years because their bass player, especially in their modern production, the bass is just, I don't know. I love their thrash. I love their brand of thrash immensely. And like I said, their production and from Ironbound on has been just like,
the production quality is like really good on this record, and something I always appreciate about Overkill. And part of the reason why I think that they're so consistently good is that they're not a typical thrash band. They don't just do the basic, like, here's the riff, here's the chorus, here's the riff again, guitar solo, done.
And they're not really considered like progressive, but they'll do some fucking interesting shit.
They do have some, like, there's always like a middle part of the song where they take the song in a direction you're not expecting it to go.
Yeah.
And like they do that consistently, at least on the singles. And I'm like, I was always impressed. Like, this song is like better than I expect it to be 90% of the time with like Overkill.
Every single they've released, like, again, like since Ironbound, it's just been absolute fucking fun. I mean, even you can go to Immortalis because that's got the Randy Blythe song we've talked about a couple times. Because that was pretty much their Welcome Back to America moment because they didn't play here for years. They would like headline Japan and shit and do Europe, but they wouldn't fucking
finally tour America again.
And yeah, I mean, from that fucking point on, it's just like every fucking, and like some of the albums didn't last with me, and some singles didn't last with me as long, but like every time,
like the last record, Wings of War, was kind of it was all right.
Yeah, I still love this. I mean, I don't even. What were the singles off that one?
Fuck.
Batshit Crazy wasn't. Was it? Wasn't?
Yeah, Batshit Crazy.
Well, Batshit Crazy was fucking fire.
I think I did like that one a good bit. But so far with the two singles on this upcoming record, Scorched, I've liked them both a lot, actually.
Yeah, I do think these two singles would indicate that it's probably a better record than this happened in a while.
Because I know, like the last one, of course, like Wings of War was solid. Mean Green.
They
Killing
released
Machine
so many fucking albums.
For a band that can release as consistently as they do, as frequently as they do, their level of quality consistency is really up there.
I'd say if you're looking at the top versus the bottom, like, and I'm just going to keep saying from Ironbound on because I think their strongest output has been really in that time span. Because I mean, they play shit off, like they'll play multiple songs off like newer records and shit. Like they'll play like 2 songs off Ironbound. They'll play 2 songs off the Electric Age.
And like these new singles have been doing well as far as the streaming numbers as well, because both singles are in their top 5 currently on Spotify.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like White Devil Armory wasn't my favorite fucking album, and the Grinding Wheel was okay, but
that was actually the album I discovered and got into them on.
Yeah,
that has Mean Green Killing Machine, which is one of the biggest songs ever.
But yeah, no, as far as their like singles on all those though, they're fucking great. I mean, Goddamn Trouble's good. And we're talking about old fucking albums now, but
yeah, no, Overkill kicking. I think it go a while.
Yeah, no, I can't say enough about how much I fucking enjoy them, and it's cool that a band that's been around as long as they have still feel like they have somewhere to go musically. And
they still have something to say, and they're still doing a good job of doing it.
Yeah, like it. Because even like bands like Exodus and Testament have kind of fallen off on some of the new material, even though I do think it's all still really good, but none of it becomes like rotation for me anymore. Like Overkill just consistently like has songs that come out and it's like I gotta listen to that every now and again, because I've always said I don't really like full Overkill records a lot. Like there's not a lot of them that I think are front to back like super fucking strong, but the strong fucking output on those records is, I mean, far and above a band we keep talking about.
A certain band that's
going to release an album on the same day as these motherfuckers. But again, I think when you look at these two singles that have come out, it's just them flexing their fucking thrash muscles. Like they are fucking.
Maybe we'll do like the episode that follows like the week of release or that.
They might not be the biggest, but I think
compare contrast.
I think they've been largely the most consistent classic thrash band as far as just me liking the output every time. Since I've been a fan, at least. And like I said, that would probably be about 2007, me discovering them and then like really loving them after Ironbound came out in 2010. And pretty much have been looking forward to every record that came out since then. And like I said, there's a couple of them I don't listen to a lot. Like I said, White Devil Armory probably being the one, but even then, like Armory, or Armorist, my bad.
You can consider that a title track or not?
Yeah, well, might as well be. But yeah, like that song's a banger, but like I said, the album didn't stick with me. Grinding Wheel, again, has really good fucking songs on it. I didn't listen to it as much. Wings of War, I actually spun quite a few times. Because like Last Man Standing is a badass song too.
Last Man Standing!
Welcome to the Garden State. So
we're going on a long tangent.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know. I'm sorry, but fucking, I love this band, and it's cool that 16 years into my fandom and fucking 40, 50, whatever the fuck many years of their existence in the goddamn
40 plus.
I'll say
close to it.
Of their existence in the metal world. I like a band. Like I said, dude, they're still kicking ass, and I hate saying it like that because that's such a weird fucking like old man metal thing to say. But like
kicking ass,
a kick ass band has continued just saying fuck you. Oh yeah, well you know it's Overkill. Fuck you, but
fuck you.
Yeah, but
get your own logo. Avenged Sevenfold.
One, they got the song "Fuck You" too.
Yeah,
we don't care what you say. Fuck you.
But yeah, can't say enough. And super stoked that this new material is just fucking like opening a goddamn pair of socks when you're old. It's Old Faithful. It sounds like Overkill.
Well, we won't have to wait much longer for the rest of this album to come out because that comes out on April 14th, same day as a certain member of the Big Four is releasing an album. Shows the big old balls that Overkill's got. Not that I don't think the record release is going to matter too much. But yeah, that is the last of the singles, so all that leaves are the albums that were released this past week. There's a few number of notable ones. I didn't get a chance to listen through all these yet, but there are some big names. One of the biggest names for like metal stuff that's out on this thing is deathcore veterans Chelsea Grin released the second half of their double album Suffer in Hell, Suffer in Heaven, with this being the Suffer in Heaven half that was released this past Friday on 1RPM Records. It's all right. It's okay. Deathcore. Chelsea Grin's never been my favorite deathcore band around, but this record overall is more dynamic than the first half. It doesn't have the singles power that the first half did, but it's okay.
Meh.
There's also, for you punks and emo kids in the audience, All Time Low released an album, Tell Me I'm Alive, on Fueled by Ramen. I didn't listen to it, don't plan on listening to it, but if you're in an All Time Low, it's there for you. One I came across today, Downfall of Gaia, Silhouettes of Disgust, out on Metal Blade Records. That's some, it's kind of like atmospheric black metal type stuff. I enjoyed it when I listened to it. Quite good if you're into that underground style of stuff. A band called Four Token released an album, Triumphs, on Prosthetic. I really should have got around to listen to that because I've heard good things about Four Token. Gideon, I think they're a metalcore band. More Power, More Pain on Equal Vision Records was released. Invent Animate, another one in the metalcore world, with Heavener on UNFD. Symphonic power metal, whatever have you, band Camelot has released their album The Awakening on Napalm Records. Listen to that. If you're a fan of them, you might like that. I like some Camelot songs here and there. My favorite song in that one is that one that Melissa Bonney guest on, providing some screaming vocals. I do like this thing that Camelot's been doing, where they have like, for some screaming vocals, add a female screamer to their songs for the male female vocal dynamic. It's kind of different, a reverse of how that usually goes in symphonic metal.
Anybody that give a fuck release anything?
No.
Okay.
Because the other big names on this thing, we got, do you like Night Demon?
Yeah.
Well, they released a record on Century Media Records called Outsider.
It's probably good, but I mean, they're kind of one of those bands. I feel like what you see is what you get. I saw them with Carcass, Crowbar, and Ghoul.
That's an interesting lineup.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I don't think I've given Night Demon a serious listen, so I can't really say.
There's some CDs in my case right now because I got my van with my CD case.
You got a van now. And we got Pop Evil with their album Skeletons came out. Pop Evils, they have like a single or two that I enjoy every now and again, but they're like a big radio band that seems like...
I thought they were some like shitty, weird like 80s tribute thing for a while. Then that's all I ever needed to know about them, is that's what I thought about them just hearing the name.
They have okay songs for being a radio type band. Theory of a Dead Man, speaking of radio type bands, released their album Dinosaur on Roadrunner Records.
They just need to play, like, if I ever see them live, they better do Randy Orton's theme song like 6 times in a row.
Oh, they did Randy Orton's theme song?
I'm pretty sure that's the Voices song. Yeah. Or no, hold on. Who'd you say?
Theory of a Dead Man. Bad Girlfriend?
No, it might be Rev Theory. What's Rev Theory?
What was their big song? They're very similar bands, so it's easy to mix them up, to be fair.
I'll say, hold on, I think it's Rev Theory now. I'm thinking
give me your hell, give me your girl.
Give me like...
right now.
Let me look up my Randy Orton on Spotify.
Well, while he's doing that, like Theory of a Dead Man, I haven't listened to the album yet, but Theory of a Dead Man...
Okay, my apologies, Rev Theory.
It was Rev Theory? Okay, so... both very similar bands, though. Theory of a Dead Man... I've only heard the singles from Dinosaur so far, and for being
after they ripped off the Cult, I don't give a fuck.
The Cult? They ripped off the Cult?
You said Bad Girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
That opening guitar lick.
Huh? Oh yeah, that is a Cult riff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same thing for Firewoman.
Yeah, Firewoman. Fuck, that is the same riff for Firewoman, isn't it?
No, and I've never and I get mad as fuck when I hear it because I'm like, yeah.
And then it's like, oh wait, this ain't it.
Bad Girlfriend. I'm like, no.
They gotta get like on the early career, they got pegged as being like Nickelback light.
Which, by the way, when I saw the Cult, the only song I thought they sucked on was Firewoman, and it made me and my sister so mad.
I'd imagine.
We were like, dude, fuck Cult rips. We're gonna go home and listen to the Cult, and, like, become the Cult fans.
I do like. I only know the 2 singles from the Cult,
but they got the Firewoman and they stank on it. And I don't think I've ever went back and listened to any Cult.
What was bad about this? Did he not nail that vocal?
The vocal, yeah,
that's a hard vocal to nail.
Oh, dude, yeah, because I mean that's the thing with the song, like the guitar lick,
that song fucking slaps.
And him going in, the chicka chicka chicka, like any vocalist that does that, it's just like, all right, he's for real.
Fire.
And it's smokestack lightning. But yeah, no.
That song's like 80s hype to the big.
And that's another Beavis and Butthead fucking introduction for my life, I think. Well, I mean, I don't know if that was the first time I heard it, but I had a old VHS that had like recorded Beavis and Butthead episodes on it. Yeah. And like the 3 songs I distinctly remember was Faith No More's Epic with the music video, and them just, fucking Beavis like, well, what is it? What is it? And just during the what is it part, and there's like, well, what is it?
Your Beavis sounds very much like your Dave Mustaine.
Well, it's not far off. But and then Joe Cocker's version of Unchain My Heart, because they were making fun of his like hand gestures like while he sings and shit.
Nice.
And then the Colts Firewoman. So like the three distinct, just Beavis, but that and Pantera's This Love, and the iconic line, iconic line by Beavis of "God damn it, Pantera, this beer's warm," and they're pretty much referring to Pantera as a child that's getting beaten the entire time.
That's God. I miss that. If we ever do we just need to make YouTube videos where we just we did just do reaction channels.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the fucked up thing. It's like the OG.
That was the OG reaction channels,
and it's a lot more entertaining. A lot more thought went into it because most people now are just like, "Oh my god, he played notes! Oh, he played notes! Can you believe this motherfucker played notes?" And it's like, yeah, I can. You're doing a music reaction. Fuck off.
Yeah, music reactions they can't hold a candle to the OGs.
Well, and just reaction, do TikTok reactions,
like the overreactions.
I know motherfuckers that got millions of fucking followers for just going.
Yeah, that's
pantomiming shocked faces while people are
doing whatever.
I've
been meaning to get into that thing to grow the TikTok. I just haven't.
Don't do it yet. I'll be madder than fuck. I will. I will quit your podcast if you start doing reaction videos like that.
I agree. It's the thing we have to. I'll do commentary stuff like that, so we're actually provide some input. But
yeah, no, dude, if you start making faces at some old lady fucking tripping in the grocery store, I'm gonna throw my phone at you.
I will try to avoid becoming the lame reaction TikToker.
Please, no, don't try. Just
don't do it.
Execute that plan. God damn.
But yeah, I think that is the last of the big albums that came out this week. So yeah, that is essentially the episode, I will say. Sorry about that whole sound drop that we had earlier.
It's about a list you don't give a fuck about anyways.
Yeah, the top 100 heavy metal songs list that Rolling Stone got wrong.
And we made up for it for me sucking Overkill's dick. So
yes, he sucked a lot of Overkill dick. That was a long section.
But, all right, we didn't actually... I have my favorite single of the week.
Oh yeah, we didn't get around to that.
I'll give it to Frozen Soul.
The Frozen Soul for your favorite one?
Well, just because Overkill, it's more or less what I expect at this point. So Frozen Soul, I'll give them my prestigious single of the week or month.
I'm kind of torn between the two that you didn't like. Would be Incendiary and Avenged Sevenfold. I will say of course, Incendiary, for being the metallic hardcore style, which I enjoy, but not much of it wows me that much. Given this didn't really wow me, I just like the catchiness of it. So I think I have to give it to your most hated one of this week, Avenged Sevenfold's Nobody. That song stuck with me even before I realized I like it. I was like, I can't stop thinking about this song. It's so different.
I feel like it's very apropos that I cap this off with a boo. No.
The boo is gonna work its way into
Are you
title.
saying boo or boo earns?
And crickets.
Simpsons reference.
Yes. Yes. So
somebody's going to mark for that. If somebody actually listens to the end of the episode and hears that, all three of them, somebody's going to be a Simpsons fan and go, I know what he's talking about.
Well, for those of you that have listened this far to the end of the episode, thank you very much for listening to this latest episode.
You're a fucking masochist.
Of the Heavy Haystack podcast.
You hate your fucking life, don't you?
If you want to help this podcast grow...
That's why I'm still sitting here, because I fucking hate my life.
If you want to help the podcast grow, make sure to give this podcast a nice 5-star review on your Spotify or your Apple podcast so that this podcast can grow and get more listeners and be spread to even more people.
Get that serotonin boost knowing that you fucking are helping us.
Know that if you can, if you're on Spotify, you can answer the questions that will be listed in the show notes of the episode. Be sure that you give our show sponsor Caravan Discordia a nice listen for more of the music if you enjoyed their single.
And follow all their other ventures. They got a lot of ventures.
Yes. And if you want to send in a question or comment to the podcast that you'd like us to read out on the show, just give a little direct message to one of the Heavy Haystack socials or drop an email to theheavyhaystack@gmail.com.
Yeah, no matter how ridiculous, because we're pretty ridiculous. So
we are very ridiculous. If it's something weird, you should do this before we get big enough to make a Patreon, if you ever get big enough to make a Patreon. But yeah, thank you for listening. We will have another episode that we might record on the road later this week. While we're out on tour with Guillotine AD in the Carolinas.
I'll say time permitting and me drunk adventure permitting.
Time permitting. I'm feeling doubtful because trying to corral this motherfucker in for a show, even if we're going to be on the same bus for 5 days, might still be difficult.
Like, I don't want to fucking talk to Donte on a goddamn podcast at this point. But who knows? Fuck, we might, like I said.
If we can still stand each other after smelling each other's farts and snoring for a few days.
There might be some switching up of format, too, just considering who all we're going to be around.
Yes. So you can have some guest spots from the rest of the Stormtoker band.
Or another band.
Or even another band, possibly. You never know. Who knows? We can make it a bonus episode, just like all hanging out or something.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done a bonus episode on here yet.
I'll say we'll just fucking loop motherfuckers in and out or something.
Yes, we'll fuck around.
We'll come up with some kind of plan for this episode.
Yes, we shall figure that out. So, until next time, peace, love, music, and we shall see y'all on the next episode.
Boo. Deuces.